couldn't we destroy the SEU? Oh no, we can't get.
We can't. We're deep within enemy territory. Just
Get on point.
quick, get on point.
No, I forgot that the generators is also.
Yeah,
No.
we're gathering here.
Thank you.
Right. Who am I missing?
A few of the Bravo squad.
Aren't we the wrong
Soon to be a
channel?
macro. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and also sorry for not replying earlier. I just passed out
I see.
till
Don't worry.
10 minutes ago.
Happens to everybody.
Yeah.
Not really. Isn't there a biolab on the VS training?
No.
We just stab each other.
Yes.
Drink, man.
Oh, perfect timing.
Right, are we all here? So I can actually get this over with.
Yes, timer's running.
Excellent, right. If we're getting here. So, are you recording, Tiger?
Yes.
Right, lovely jubbly. Fuck you. Thank you very much all of you showed to infantry training. I know some of you won't need it, some of you will need it. Last time I talked about more general positioning and basic certs you can take. The basic infantry cert guide will be out hopefully by Saturday. I'll have it done and it just take to be made nicer. On the biolab, I'm going to be doing a series of talks about the different big bases and how to best attack them and how to best survive while in the biolab. And we're going to start with biolab. I'll do amsters and tech plants later. So just for those that don't know, if you go onto your maps and you look at the biolab, you'll see that there is always 3 bases around satellite bases around the biolab. Those would be Rashnu Cavern, Rashnu Watchtower, Rashnu Southern Pass in this instance. Every one of those bases is extremely important to taking or defending a biolab, as for whatever faction controls them, it will provide another spawn inside the biolab. The biolab in total has 4 spawns, 1 for the biolab itself and 1 for each of the satellite stations. On each of the satellite stations, there will be a generator somewhere at it. It will control the spawn protection for the ones in the biolab. If you obviously, if you capture the satellite spawns, it'll flip to your side and you'll be able to spawn there. Or if you're not able to capture it, if you take down the generator at one of the satellite bases, it will disable spawns from their respective satellite spawn inside the biolab. So that really dictates how easy it is to attack or defend these. So as a defender, the biolabs are a great location to defend, as most people will only attack it with, well, once they've taken one of the base, they will start it. Don't go that way too close. Most of the people will start attacking it directly. Ideally, don't do this. As you see on our ops night, every time we can, we'll try to fully encircle the biolab, because that gives us 3 spawns and the enemy only 1 spawn. By doing this, it means that there is a cohesive front line.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
When you attack all 3 bases, isn't the biolab cut off and they can't spawn at all?
No, the way the cutoff system works is reinforcements can't spawn in. If you are already in the hex, you can carry on spawning there. So that's, yeah, for those that are wondering, the cutoff doesn't mean the fight ends. It just means reinforcements can't spawn from there. And also, if you cut it off, you can still take territory from the cutoff location. So you could fight your way out of a cutoff and reconnect from within. And it's entirely possible.
I have a question about the SEU.
Yes.
So the biolab SEU, if the enemies overload our SEU, shouldn't we just grenade spam in there and then we can stabilize it? We never do that.
There is way, like we normally are attacking biolabs rather than defending them, because the best way to take a biolab or defend a biolab is not actually to fight at the biolab. You deal with the things around it, and then the biolab deals with itself.
The satellite spawns are not.
Can we scrape the people off the floor, please?
The satellite spawns are not affected by the SEU, right?
No.
No.
The SEU only affects the main spawn room, which is over there, the west in this case. But no, I'll get to more things. So basically, I want to make sure you all know where the satellite spawns and the spawns in the biolab are. We'll just run through each of them and talk about defending and attacking them. So as we're here, the main spawn room for the biolab is this building over there, as I'm pointing. But I've got a laser pointer, that one. And the main spawn will always be between the L building, which is currently the A point, and the swamp area. We'll just go counterclockwise. So the swamp area is somewhere where a lot of people forget that this is. It is very easy to push through due to the amount of cover, and you can easily get behind any of the attacks going for the middle. There is a lot of cover. Normally this place where I'm at the moment by the jump pad is very heavily contested. As you see, anybody here has a lot of cover that you can use, as well as all the trees and stuff. It is a note to make that I'm playing as a light assault on this because biolabs are extremely vertical. The main reason a lot of people find biolabs hard to fight in is because the amount of angles you can be attacked from. That is due from the amount of spawns and the verticality of the map. The next spawn is the one at the powerhouse building, which at the moment is hosting the B point. So that's the other satellite spawn. In my opinion, if you can avoid spawning at this one, you should not spawn at this one. It is a horrible place to attack from, and very easy to be defended. Normally the closed door there is open, and basically they need to push in and attack that. Push in and attack the big stairs in the powerhouse. The only way I would say that you can actually successfully push into the powerhouse from that spawn is go all the way around it and take the door 3 into the powerhouse building.
Can I say something on this spawn?
Yes.
When you spawn here, you're gonna get rained on by C4 from above. It's
yes.
so common. It's
Yes. If you do look above, the roof of the powerhouse building is a common place for light assaults to be camping.
I recognise this building format.
Yes, it is indeed. It is the powerhouse building. Small stairs, big stairs, double doors. Always, 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 the SCU generator will be in the powerhouse building on the ground floor. It is always there, and I shall go back to when you should do that in a second. But now we're going to continue going around to the Bravo Squad waypoint to generally the next spawn location, which is called the Rock Spawn. It will be obvious why it's called the Rock Spawn when you get there. So the Rock Spawn is one of the better locations, in my opinion, to spawn from to attack a biolab, if you can capture it. Due to the amount of cover around the spawn and the easy access into the banana building. You can very easily sprint from the spawn into the building and already have a foothold. If you're pinning these people down, controlling the banana building is important. You have the walkway over here, the balcony, which you can keep them spawn camped at. Obviously, the rocks above it is also a very popular place to be at. And then there is the last one here, which is the forest spawn. This is also quite a good spawn to take. They will hit, yeah. Not this. You need to know whether the biolab has the wall behind us to the west. Normally that is not there. Not all biolabs have that. That will give a direct access for the defenders from the main spawn room to be able to attack from. Once you... So yeah.
Somebody in Yell chat is here. The Vanu are here.
They're on the point here.
Yeah. Could we tell them, please don't kill us?
Yes.
Leave the restricted area immediately. Clear out of that area.
with losses.
Yeah, can we just stick together? Like there are so many of us here that literally 2 guys should not be a problem.
We lost the beacons. I'm
He
gonna
wants to farm us.
again.
We are the drunken dogs, though.
Oh, fuck. Please. Kill him.
There we go. Don't kill NSO Clanker.
Okay, okay. Hold fire, hold fire.
Fuck.
Only shoot upon being shot upon. No shooting, fuck's sake.
He
Guys,
shot
it's only one guy.
Okay, right, okay.
Deal with
right.
them, we're chill.
Anyway, right. Carry on just to finish this off quickly. This is the L building. You will recognize this building. It is extremely painful to hold due to its location. But from there, most people will run from their spawn all the way around the corner. The best way to hold the building is just to stack yourselves on the control points. It's the same L building as there is always. You just need to hold the doors closest to that spawn.
Some biolabs have the balcony open though.
Yes, indeed, yeah. Not some of the biolabs have the balcony open, which makes life increasingly difficult. But yeah, that's the general runaround of the biolab with all the spawns. Now we're back at the main SU. So now this is always the same case. In every biolab, it will always be the same case.
With small modifications.
Yeah, with small modifications. Normally it's just depending what door is open, what windows are open. That is up to you to figure out how it is happening. General rules is, as always, as I said last time, you need to limit the fields of fire you take. Where we're standing out is incredibly open. You need to take as much cover as you possibly can. This is due to there is no single spawn for the attackers. There's no single spawn for defenders. There is no line of battle. This is why most people struggle, but a good player will farm a biolab.
You have any spare ammo?
So if you get that concept, like, play the buildings you know, stay in cover.
I can heal you.
And if you can play light assault, play light assault, because having control of the rooftops will mean you take this building a lot easier. Right. One other thing on the biolab, it can be extremely easy to take because it is the only big base that can be captured in a minute and a half. If you control all 3 points, it captures in a minute and a half.
Wait, what?
That is,
Yes.
yes. If you control all of the points, it takes a minute and a half. That is long. That is faster than you can take down the SCU. If you are in a stalemate where you can't keep hold of these points, this is more for the squad leaders or people that want to do training. If there's a stalemate, you get all your forces pushing for the shield generator.
Look up, Jose.
Oh.
But yeah, you go for the shield generator and then the SCU. The SCU, if you have everybody on there, you will basically going to be grenaded spammed to death. Try avoid sitting directly on the SCU when camping the SCU. Because every explosive will come your way. You've got the swamp with a lot of cover, you've got all this crap lying around. Use it as cover when defending the SCU. But if we manage to push into a biolab which is uncontested, rush the points. You can hold the point for a minute and a half, and we can hold it out.
Enemy medic in the area.
Also, the differences in biolab is where the points are. They're not in the same spots always. Sometimes I think there's a biolab with 4 points as well.
Yes, there are a couple of biolabs with 4 points. However, near every
Same
biolab
thing.
apart from Ickenham has got a point in the L building, it's got a point in the powerhouse, and it's got a point in the
Just saw an enemy
weird
medic.
square building over there.
Enemy medic spotted.
The square building, that is just a grenade spam. To control the C building, you don't control the building itself, you need to control the swamp around it. Otherwise, any forces inside of there will be grenade spammed to death.
On SCUs and spawns, don't forget where the common router
Enemy medic
place is.
spotted.
Router placement in biolabs.
Yeah,
Yes, above the SCU.
Ah, yes.
and on top of the L building.
Yes. The bio...
Most often used.
Those are the most often used. I would still say the best place for putting down a router, if you ever want to do that, it would be in the powerhouse building, as that is the most defensible building. It gives you a very powerful way out, as well as giving you access to the way to stop them spawning. Also, just quickly on getting around, obviously you can teleport in. All the satellites have got
Enemy light
teleports.
assault in the area.
All the landing pads have got jump pads, which you can get from the satellite bases.
Enemy
But
medic
apart,
spotted.
hello. But yes, apart from that, it is a case of this is one of the most clusterfucky bases you're gonna have fight in. Whether you survive in it is just being able to be very cautious and move slowly. There are so many angles to be shot at from. It is up to you to be able to think about where they could shoot you from and where to close that. If there is a roof above your head, you're generally safe. If there's a roof next to you, you're probably going to get C4'd to death. And that is the biolab. To what I can, those were my notes for it. I think that was extremely quick because basically I am done. There is not much.
I'm
technique.
currently showing where the pads lead to, because that's the most people might not know that there's 2 pads on the ammo resupplies.
Yes. Yes, if you quickly say you can see which of the satellite bases lead where. It's whichever one is closest will take you there.
And also, you can look at the layout of the jump pad. It has a direction.
Yes. Any
Hard to see
questions?
sometimes, but it has.
I know that was just a lot of talking and not a lot of doing. There is very little rhyme or reason that it always happens at the biolab, but once you understand how the flow works, how the fact that there is no stable front line, that will keep you alive the longest, because I know this is the hardest most new players suffer in this biolab, in biolabs generally.
Can we play hide and seek with the Stalker cloak?
You can see a horrendous biolab fight at Alatum Biolab, where the Terrans are locked in by Terran and NC and Vanu. And the Terrans, they can't get reinforcements.
There are 4 pads but 3 satellite bases. Why is that?
Not all the pads have jump pads, though. Not all.
No. Isn't there a jump pad that sits at the bottom of the biolab that isn't attached to one of the satellites?
No.
Not in everyone. I think the notable exceptions to that are the biolabs that have a wall around them. If the biolab's got a wall, one of the jump pads will lead to the bottom. If there is no wall, it normally doesn't have a jump pad to the bottom.
I'm pretty sure in this case, 2 go to
Yes.
Rash Cavern and 1 to Watchtower and 1 to Salan.
Yes.
Correct. Just showed the video, the tutorial.
As far
Very
as I'm
bad.
concerned, that is my talking done. That's it. My talks on bases are going to be very short because I don't want to just chat over it, because it's just theory and then practice you can do yourself on the field. But have I got any questions? I'll take questions about the biolab or questions generally, and then we'll just call it there, and we shall carry on in a bit. Anybody got anything to question? Anything to add?
When it comes to biolabs, is it worth bothering with the SCU, or is it just capture points and hope for the best?
For that very much depends on how on the defenders. Like if you're attacking a biolab it depends on the defense there. If you have got an organized force and you can push and hold all 3 points at the same time, that is the most efficient way to do it. It is a very quick way to finish this off. However, as we all know, sometimes it is extremely messy and you cannot hold anywhere for long. And that is when I would say you focus on the SEU. When you cannot hold those points, you go for the SEU, you take down the SEU, you cut off a spawn from them. Because the game here is limiting the amount of places they can come from. Because if you only hold 1 territory, the defenders have got 3 spawns. If you hold 2 territories and take down the SEU, they can only come from 1 place, you can spawn camp them. Did I answer that correctly? Did you understand?
Yeah. Thank you.
Let me heal you.
Flemmy, you were saying something?
Yes, and if they got no territory and no SCU, they're all being kicked out. By the way, if they lose that is a question. If they lose the SCU after losing all 3 territories, is everybody considered to be out? So if they get the SCU back, they count as reinforcement and can't spawn there because they are cut off?
No.
If they teleported out of the biolab, they can't return. But if they stayed,
If they
they're
just
still
wait
here.
for the SCU to come back.
Anybody that died on the hex can spawn in the hex. So if they manage to take down the SCU and then take it and repair it within the 10 seconds it takes to respawn, they can still do it. No, I don't actually. No, not the 10 seconds. I'm thinking of revives. No, if they're waiting on the hex screen, I'm pretty sure they can spawn in still.
Okay.
Unless you own all satellite bases and capture the base, enemies can still spawn in the biolab. Yes. The only way to stop people spawning here is to
fully empty it out.
Yeah, basically empty it out. And this is why generally in Ops Night I will not send us into a biolab fight. I will go around it. You take all 3 points, all 3 of the satellite bases, cut it off, and then you push in. If even then you can't take all 3 points after it's been cut off, you go for the SCU, you take down the SCU, and then you just bleed them dry. The biolabs are very hard to take, they're very easy to defend.
Fights.
They can be long fights, but they can easily be won by a force that knows what they're doing.
Well, there are some satellite space which is just a bitch to take.
Yeah, they're as always, they're bases be bases. And the only exception for this the biolab thing is Icon Biolab, which is not a biolab like this at all. It is completely different, and in my opinion, a lot better fight.
You mean the broken one?
The one on Amarush.
No, the underground one on Amarush.
Oh, the underground one. There's also one that's open.
Oh yeah, there is on Amarush you have got Terran BL4 crash site. Yeah, the broken biolabs like Terran BL4 crash site. I believe there's one on there is one on Hostin again.
And one on Azamir.
Yeah, one on Hostin.
Oh yeah, Emmerich was the underground one.
Yeah.
My bad.
There's Hade Skydock and BL4 crash site. They're basically the same thing. Any other questions? No? Well, thank you very much for listening to the TED Talk. I hope it wasn't boring. I hope you learned something. And I will be doing one on probably tech plants in a fortnight after flight school happening. I want to keep these short. I'll be putting up a more detailed document on... Well, I need to read the document on biolabs as well as on everything I talk about. So if you forget everything, it should be fine. It'll be on a written form eventually. So yeah, thank you very much. Let's go find a fight.
Yeah, how he passed.